Good morning, everybody, or good evening, depending on where you are in the world. One of the things that I want to focus on today with our loops and scoops, our love scoops, and also the loop of awareness is using our attention to wrap around. Because I'm imagining that you, like many of us, are missing hugs, and the whole orientation of humans to be able to touch and be able to mingle has been so disrupted. And what I'm thinking also is that that's part of why people have been doing things that are dangerous to their health, because the drive to connect is so strong that we can even override our drive toward our own safety. And so I was seeing an image when I was in getting dressed today. I was seeing an image of blinders. And I'd like you to just start by putting your hands next to your face and just looking around, and notice what needs to happen if you have blinders on, that you need to use more of your body to look different places. And there's also, I think, a narrowing that happens from being scared, that there's a particular kind of contraction. And so let yourself just play with this narrowing and then widening, and notice what happens for you in your senses and in your sense of space when you're putting blinders on and then you're choosing to widen. I notice that when I have blinders on, that I stop breathing, that my breathing gets contracted, and that when I expand, I can especially feel my breath to the sides of me. And my sense is that by using our attention, by doing loop of awareness, and by playing with love scoops and the rest of the fear melters, that we increase our dimensionality, that we're able to interrupt the hunker move. But I also want to honor the hunker move and have you also try on your particular hunkering. You know, like I'm seeing Jason, this is a great one too. If you hunker and then you kind of come forward like, okay, check it out. No, you have to get really close to me before I can see if you're safe or not. No, so play with different ways of how you've hunkered. So you can also hunker down in yourself. And notice when you do that, when you hunker, when I hunker, I lose the ability for my attention to really circulate. My attention gets stuck. So I'd like you to hunker, and then I'd like you in the middle of the hunker, like I was just seeing Nicole doing a little wiggle, in the middle of your hunker, ooh, I like that, wrap. So let's do a hunker and a wrap. So you can definitely touch you. That's part of the love scoops, is really wrapping yourself in love. And then I'd like you to let your attention go out, but I'd like you to have it go out with that blinders on, because almost always when we have blinders on, we're looking for what's wrong. We're looking for where the threat is. And I notice that my head comes forward and my breath comes up. So how can you now then let your attention wrap? Find something out there that you'd like to wrap your attention around. Like it may be like I have a beautiful bush outside and I'm going to let my attention wrap around that and then come back and wrap around me. And I'm noticing that I particularly want it to wrap around the area just under my shoulder blades where I've been feeling more contracted. And as I do that, I can feel my body wanting to spread out in more dimensions. And so when I don't have blinders on, it also allows me to turn toward in much more a three-dimensional way rather than just two-dimensional moving forward, and it gets me into fighting back. So let's play with letting your attention move out and around and wrap around something that's either close by you or further out. And what you actually need to do to let your attention wrap around. How can your body participate in wrapping around and then coming back like an infinity sign and wrapping around you? So out in the world, wrapping around, and then back to you and wrapping around. And my legs were saying, hey, what about me? What about me? So we all tend to kind of be more up and forward. So notice that the wrap around you might want to be wrapping around your legs, wrapping around your belly. And when you come back to you, let's add in a love scooping. But let's scoop from what your attention that you've wrapped out and around. I have an exquisite orchid, and I'm going to let my attention wrap around that. And then come back, and I'm going to actually scoop that and wrap it around me, or sling it over my shoulder, or spread it down my back. A wrap and spread. And it also allows us to then expand our attention and our turning toward by looking for things we appreciate and looking for beauty. So I have these wonderful little ferny things that grow outside the window, and they have this kind of a quality. So you can let yourself wrap around something outside and then bring that quality back to scoop and love scoop around you. And so notice what this is doing is getting you moving and breathing. So when we bring our attention, our moving and our breathing to create that looking for harmony, looking for what's working, and then actually attending to that, giving your attention, feeling that, and then scooping that and bringing it back to you. Letting that settle in you, noticing how it opens your breathing, opens your moving. So attending out, letting your attention widen. And I notice as I'm doing that I'm getting expanded. And so I'm also going to now want you to feel your feet, do a little either wiggling with your feet, feeling your feet, doing a little gentle stomping with your feet. So that as you're scooping from out there, you have a place for it to land, but also to settle through you. So feel that going all the way down through your legs, down into the earth. So you can scoop up from the earth. Let's do it the other direction now. We're going to scoop up from us. And then let that love scoop go out into the world, and you can actually feel it wrapping around something. And it may not even be something that you can see. It may be a friend. We have some friends who've gotten the virus, and so I'm feeling that love coming up from me, and I'm going to wrap them around with that. And let yourself do anything with your body and your breath, and also with your sound. So is especially a nice wrapping sound. But it may be, and I don't mean boom, boom, bam, boom, boom. I mean wrapping with a WRAPPINT, but you could also wrap if that pleasures you as you're bringing love up and through you, and then you're letting it wrap around. I want to wrap it around my whole community. And then letting that come back into me and making sure that I come all the way through my own body, feeling the earth. There's also some wonderful things that people are doing. So this is a great time for us to share. If you see someone doing something on the call, go ahead and imitate that. That's how part of how we learn. That's definitely how babies learn. So activate the baby part of you and go ahead and let yourself draw up love, letting it circulate, bubble all through you, and then send it out and wrapping around you, wrapping around your home, wrapping around your friends, wherever you're drawn to, and then coming back to you. Now, one thing I want to add today, and I'm going to start adding it in, I'd like to have us do together 2 minutes of fear melters, because we know that it takes 2 minutes to change your physiology. And I have found that doing for us, for where I am, it's the morning, and starting my morning with 2 minutes of fear melters lays down a blueprint for the day of expanding and being able to turn toward life. So I'd like you to, those of you who are able to, I'd like you to go ahead and stand. You can do this sitting, you can do it lying down, but I'd like you, and Michelle, I'd like you to time us, if you would please, and give me a thumbs up when we get to the 2 minutes, because I want you to give your body a sense of what 2 minutes is. So I'm going to just start with the separate fear melters. So here's oozing, which I find especially valuable to take through my shoulders, to take through my neck, to take through the fight places that most light up in our bodies. And feeling and sound is great to add. You could add an oozy sound, or always works. And playing with the rhythm, because oozing, notice that oozing works best if you've got that like being in seaweed and water kind of space. And then let's do sumo. So sumo is getting your legs wide, coming down, shifting from side to side. And again, play with the pace that allows you to feel most here. So it might be percussive, it might be more like African dance, feeling your feet, feeling your legs shifting. And then let's take that into wiggling. Feeling what place in you is most wanting wiggling right now. You can wiggle your butt, you can wiggle your jaws, you can wiggle under your arms, you can wiggle your whole body like a fish. And then of course we've already been doing love scoops. So you can reach out and take love from what you're feeling in the community and bring it in any place in you that's wanting that. And then you can combine them. So you can have an oozy wiggle and a sumo scoop. So let yourself play with them, and just continuing to play with fear melters. I also love to do this lying down with my legs in the air. So that's 2 minutes. So just take a moment and feel your whole body aliveness. Notice if you've got more circulation going. Yeah, I notice some of you spontaneously smiling. So I want to recommend to all of us that when you're feeling rattled or you're feeling overwhelmed, let yourself not just do fear melters, but let yourself do 2 minutes of fear melters, and let that end with love scoops. So like everybody, as we're ending today, I'd like you to gather love from our all being together, and I'd like you to wrap it around you, and you can unmute yourself, and I'd like you to make yummy sounds. Yeah, yummy slurpy sounds as we're ending for today.
Yum, 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 yum.
Thank you all. Till next time.